All right, so here I just want to again use the whiteboard to present a bit of a model of how this works here. This is also a very popular idea that got spread in terms of the new spirituality, largely the esoteric, but you'll find it all over the place. Really popularized through Theosophy, okay, through Madame Blavatsky and the Theosophical Society and a lot of their publications. And so and you probably have come across the phrase here and there. Wayne Dyer, one of the most popular writers in contemporary spirituality who passed away a couple of years ago, he very much popularized this idea and said it all the time, that we are God having the human experience. Okay, we are God having the human experience. And that is an idea that really got popularized by Blavatsky, okay? And it really is a rather Gnostic idea, if you remember Gnosticism and some of the passages and things I've read and whatnot and talked about there. So the way it sort of looks here is that there is the source, the divine intelligence, i.e. God, you know, the source of all that is. And the divine has decided to manifest into all the various life forms and aspects of reality that exists. And so instead of a theory of evolution, it's sort of like God devolved to become the universe. So from pure oneness, pure consciousness, pure source, all right, which is just a field of energy and consciousness, decides to take on material form and to first of all become the mineral kingdom, you know, the soils, the earth, the material world as such in terms of the mineral kingdom, all right, the world of matter. And then from there to, quote, evolve into plant life, okay, the plant kingdom, the vegetable kingdom, all right, all that life form. And then from there to, quote, evolve into animals and the animal kingdom and the various species and forms that we have there. All right, so again, manifesting into all aspects of life. And then finally into the human form, okay, as humans. So we really are God having the human experience. Animals are God having the animal experience. Plants are having, you know, God having the plant experience, etc. Okay, so it's all a manifestation of the divine source. And so it's held, though, that here at the human level, all right, we have forgotten who we really are. We have forgotten who we actually are, where we actually came from. All right, this is just exactly what the Gnostics said. And remember that quote that I read you, the Gnostic Creed, you know, we have forgotten where we came from and who we actually are. So here at this point, we're thinking that who we are, we're just highly evolved animals, right? We're just a little bit above the apes. And that's all we are, as just more evolved animals, driven by animal instincts, limited with animal capabilities, right? And so basically they're saying we need to wake up here to who we really are. And those who do wake up and discover who they really are, again, very Gnostic. They realize their true self, their divine potential, that they are God having the human experience, and they can start waking up their divine-like powers and develop psychic abilities, seeing into the future, levitating, astral traveling, you know, all this sort of paranormal stuff. They are waking up to who they really are. They're becoming enlightened, all right? In terms of tapping into those divine kind of potentiality and abilities. And so we are on a journey of waking up from realizing our true nature. And as we do this, we are then on a journey, all right, to return to source, going back to the Godhead, all right? And that's sort of the journey that we're on. And it's going to involve, this journey is a process of ascension, okay? Ascension, where we develop the ability to raise up the vibrational frequencies here on earth in our bodies. And when we can raise up our vibrational frequency, it gets faster and faster. We can dematerialize. Okay, we can dematerialize. and we can leave then the earth plane, this physical material plane. And, you know, we could astral travel, we could go onto the other dimensions. We're able to do those things if we know how to raise up our vibrational frequency, okay? Now, there was a very popular book written years ago, and they also turned it into a movie, and it is on the internet. You can watch it, find it on YouTube or whatever, called The Celestine Prophecy. The Celestine Prophecy. And it will work with these ideas, because there are literally people and who attain that kind of ability to raise up their vibrational frequency and can dematerialize and do all kinds of things. And it's interesting. You should watch it sometime, okay? Really, yeah, I'm going to post it. There's so much good stuff. Way more than I have time to even cover in this class. But anyways, so that's kind of what it's about. So there's a lot of talk, and this is what Blavatsky did. She claimed that she had encountered these types of beings, you know, the Great White Brotherhood, and she gave them various names, these masters who've attained higher vibrational frequencies and were able to do these supernatural things. And so she claims then, and this becomes a very popular teaching, that the various spiritual leaders of the past, like specifically Jesus, Christ, okay, is the best example, really, of them all. Buddha, Krishna, various other figures. There's a whole shploo, I don't know if that's a word, spiel, sploo, shlu, whatever, a bunch of these names thrown out there as the ascended masters. So they are beings, people who have indeed realized their true selves, who they really are, and they've been able to raise up their vibrational frequencies so they literally transcend physical limitations. And again, the key thing, Jesus literally, the resurrection was where he was able to overcome death and physical limitations and the physicality of death, and literally could transform his being to dematerialize. But also what these beings can do is they can choose to materialize. They can choose to when they want to appear before you, and yet walk through the wall if they want to and disappear, but yet then be material before you and eat and drink and shake your hand. Okay, so they're not ghosts, all right? They're different from ghosts and spirits, and then choose to dematerialize and go to other planes of reality, right? That's the classic idea of the ascended master. They're able to journey throughout these realms through choice. So that's kind of the thing. So they, you know, are ahead of us in the evolution. They have discovered who they are and what they can all become, and they're able to live at those higher levels. And so they're ahead of us, pointing the way, wanting to wake us up, all right? Wake us up to who we are so that we can then follow in their path and get on the journey towards ascension, and where we can overcome physicality and leave this earth plane behind. Right? So that's kind of a common idea that you get here. Right? So hopefully that all made some sense. And as I mentioned, you know, in the course pack, through my interviewing with people, you know, well, we'll talk more about that in our live sessions, okay? Yeah, I don't really want to do that here. So anyways, hopefully that makes sense, and that's all good, and do read that chapter, and yeah, really integrate some of this stuff, okay? All right, ciao.